Hello and welcome. The day has gone, but the night has only begun. It's time to quiet the mind and soothe the soul. Let these peaceful images and the promise of renewal carry you into a deep and restful sleep. Breathe in and out. Let's begin. The Weary Soul, a Sleep Story. Section 1. The world, for a time, had been a place of sharp edges and loud colors. Every demand was a stone added to a pack you carried on your back, and every worry was a gust of wind trying to push you from a narrow path. You had walked for so long, through days that felt like deserts, under a sun that offered light but no warmth. The noise of it all, the clatter of tasks, the din of expectations, the low, constant hum of tomorrow's anxieties, had become a second skin, one that did not protect but only weighed you down. And so you became weary. This was not the simple tiredness that a good night's sleep could mend. This was a weariness of the soul, a deep and resonant fatigue that seemed to emanate from your very core. It made the light seem dimmer, the joy feel fainter, and the path ahead appear steeper and more obscured than ever before. Your footsteps had grown slow, your gaze fixed upon the ground just before your feet, for to look up at the looming mountains of the future was a prospect too daunting to bear. But now, as you settle into the quiet of this moment, as you consciously release the breath you feel you have been holding for hours, perhaps days, you make a choice. You decide to lay that heavy pack down. You unclasp the buckles, one by one, feeling the immense weight of it begin to shift. The first buckle is the weight of today's troubles. You release it, and a slight, almost imperceptible lightness touches your shoulders. The second buckle is the weight of yesterday's regrets. It is a stubborn clasp, rusted with time, but you work it loose, and another layer of burden falls away. The third and final buckle is the weight of tomorrow's fears. This one is the heaviest, for it is filled with the shadows of things that have not yet come to pass. With a final, gentle intention, you release it. The pack slides from your back and rests upon the ground beside you. It is not gone, but for now you are separate from it. You are free from its immediate pressure. In the space left by that absence, a new sensation begins to bloom. It is the feeling of a gentle invitation, an echo of a verse spoken for hearts just like yours. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. The words are not loud or commanding. They do not demand your attention with force. Instead, they are like a soft melody played on a distant flute, carried on a breeze that has traveled across quiet fields and still waters to find you here, in your moment of surrender. It is an invitation to rest, not just for the body, but for the soul that has journeyed so far and borne so much. And so you accept. You take the first step on a new path, one that does not lead upward toward a daunting peak, but downward into a gentle valley. As you walk, you become aware of the world around you softening. The harsh, artificial light of the day gives way to the gentle, diffuse glow of a twilight mist. The sounds of the world begin to mute and blend into a peaceful symphony. The distant rumble of a car becomes the low hum of the earth. The chatter of voices fades into the whisper of the wind through pine needles. You are walking away from the plaza of human haste and into the sanctuary of a timeless nature. With each step, your breathing deepens, your shoulders relax, and the tight knot of tension within your chest begins, slowly, to unravel. You are going to a place of rest. Section 2. The path beneath your feet is no longer rough asphalt or splintered wood, but soft, fragrant earth, padded with centuries of fallen pine needles. They yield under your weight with a gentle, springy resilience, and each footfall is silent, a secret between you and the ground. The air changes, too. It loses the dry, dusty taste of the weary world and becomes cool, clean, and moist, carrying the scent of damp soil, of decaying leaves returning to the earth, of the sweet, resinous perfume of the great conifers that now stand as silent sentinels on either side of you. These trees are ancient. Their trunks are thick and gnarled, their bark etched with the deep, vertical lines of ages past. You place a hand upon one as you pass, and you feel not the rough texture of wood, but a deep, steady, and patient vibration. It is the slow, thrumming heartbeat of the earth itself, a rhythm measured not in seconds, but in seasons. You lean against it for a moment, closing your eyes, and you let your own frantic heartbeat begin to sync with this older, wiser tempo. In and out, slow and steady. The tree has weathered countless storms, has stood through blazing summers and frozen winters, and yet it remains, rooted, strong, and at peace. It offers you a fraction of that steadfastness, and you feel it seeping into your bones. A soft sound begins to accompany your journey, growing from a faint suggestion to a clear, calming presence. It is the sound of water, not a roaring waterfall or a rushing river, but a gentle, meandering stream, its voice a continuous, liquid whisper over smooth, round stones. You follow the sound, the path leading you ever closer until you see it through the trees, a ribbon of silver in the twilight, weaving its way through mossy banks and fern-carpeted clearings. The water moves without hurry, pausing in deep, placid pools where it reflects the dark green of the canopy and the soft gray of the evening sky. It is in no hurry to reach the sea, for it knows that every bend, every stone, every quiet pool is part of its journey, part of its purpose. You kneel at the stream's edge, the damp moss cool and soft beneath your knees. You dip your hands into the water, and the shock of its coolness is not jarring, but cleansing. It washes away the invisible dust of your travels, the grime of worry that had settled into the lines of your palms. You cup your hands and bring the water to your face, and it feels like a baptism, a renewal of a promise you had forgotten was made to you. The weariness in your soul, that deep-set grime, begins to loosen its hold, sluiced away by this simple, sacred act. You are not just cleaning your skin. You are allowing the very essence of this peaceful place to cleanse your spirit. As you rise, you feel lighter, as if the water has washed away not just the dust, but an ounce of the weight you carried in your heart. The invitation echoes here, by the stream, with a new clarity. I will give you rest. It is not a rest that must be earned or fought for. It is a rest that is given freely, like this water from the stream, like the shade from the trees, like the steady, patient heartbeat of the earth. It is a gift, laid out before you, and all you must do is continue to accept it, to walk deeper into this peace, to allow your soul to drink its fill from this well of quietude. The twilight deepens around you, the colors of the world softening into hues of blue and silver, and you continue on, guided by the stream and the promise it carries. Section 3. The path now follows the gentle curves of the stream, and as you walk, the forest begins to change its character. The tall, dense pines gradually give way to a grove of ancient willows. Their long, slender branches hang down like a curtain of liquid green, swaying gently in the barely perceptible breeze. To walk among them is to walk through a series of soft, living veils. Each time you push aside a cascade of leaves, you feel as though you are leaving another layer of the old world behind. The sound of the stream is muffled here, replaced by the whisper of willow leaves brushing against one another, a sound like distant, gentle rain. Beneath these willows, the light is a filtered, underwater green. Sunbeams, what few remain in the fading day, struggle to pierce the canopy, and when they do, they fall as scattered coins of gold upon the forest floor, illuminating patches of clover and tiny, white star-shaped flowers that seem to glow with their own inner light. Fireflies, the first you have seen, begin to awaken from their daytime slumber. At first, it is just one, then three, then a dozen. They blink into existence not as frantic sparks, but as slow, deliberate pulses of cool, greenish light, drifting aimlessly on the air currents. Their silent, intermittent language adds to the dreamlike quality of this place. There is no hurry here, no destination. There is only being. You find yourself slowing your pace to match the unhurried drift of the fireflies. Your breathing has become deep and regular, each inhale drawing in the cool, green-scented air, each exhale releasing the last vestiges of tension from your lungs, your shoulders, your mind. The thoughts that once raced in frantic circles, like trapped birds in a cage, have now quieted. They have not vanished, but they have settled, their wings folded, their chirping silenced. They rest on the perches of your mind, soothed by the gentle rhythm of your breath and the serene safety of this willow grove. In the center of this grove, you come upon a perfect circle of grass, surrounded by the weeping willows, their branches forming a perfect, domed sanctuary. In the very center of this circle stands a single ancient stone, worn smooth by wind and rain, its surface flat and inviting. It is not a throne or an altar, but simply a place to sit and be. You approach it and lay your hand upon its surface. It is cool, but not unpleasantly so. It holds the coolness of the deep earth, a stable, constant temperature that speaks of its permanence. It has been here for 1,000 years, and it will be here for 1,000 more, unmoved by the passing storms or the worries of the creatures that briefly inhabit the world around it. You sit upon the stone, letting your hands rest in your lap. You look up through the canopy of willow leaves, and you can see the first stars beginning to prick the deep, velvet blue of the evening sky. They are faint, but constant. The invitation is here, too, in the heart of the willow grove. It is in the patient stone, the drifting fireflies, the whispering leaves. And I will give you rest. You feel it now, not as a promise of something to come, but as a present reality. A deep, profound quiet is seeping into you, filling the spaces that were once crowded with noise and fear. It is a quiet that is not empty, but full of peace, full of presence, full of a rest that is finally beginning to claim your weary soul. Section 4. As you sit in the profound quiet of the willow grove, a new sensation begins to gently surface, like a bubble rising from the depths of a still lake. It is the feeling of being watched over. This is not the anxious feeling of being under scrutiny, but the deeply comforting sensation of being seen, known, and cared for. It is the feeling a child has when, drifting to sleep, it knows a loving parent is sitting in a chair nearby, keeping a silent, benevolent vigil. You are not alone in this sanctuary. A presence is here with you, as tangible as the cool stone beneath you and as gentle as the swaying willow branches. This presence does not speak in words, but in feelings, communicates in the language of the heart, and the message it impresses upon your soul is one of unconditional welcome. All that you are, all that you have been, all the weariness and the burdens you carried, none of it is a barrier here. You are not being judged for your fatigue. You are being invited to lay it down because of your fatigue. The presence understands the weight of the stones in your discarded pack. It knows the sharpness of every thorn that has snagged your clothing on the long journey, and its only desire is to offer you solace. You close your eyes, and in the darkness behind your eyelids, you begin to visualize this rest. It is not simply the absence of movement, but an active, nurturing peace. Imagine it as a soft, golden light emanating from the very center of your being. It starts as a small, warm spark in your heart, a single ember of peace. With each slow, deep breath you take, you fan this ember. Inhale, and you draw in the cool, green peace of the willow grove. Exhale, and you feed that peace into the golden ember within. Inhale, the silence of the drifting fireflies. Exhale, the spark glows brighter. Inhale, the steadfast patience of the ancient stone. Exhale, the light expands. The golden light grows, warming you from the inside out. It is a warmth that chases away the last lingering chills of fear and anxiety. It flows through your veins, not like blood, but like liquid honey, slow and sweet and heavy with comfort. It reaches the very tips of your fingers and the very tips of your toes, a soothing, radiant energy that whispers of safety and deep rest. Your muscles, which have been held in a constant, subtle clench for so long you had forgotten what it felt like to be truly relaxed, now soften and release. Your jaw unclenches. The furrow in your brow smooths away. Your shoulders drop, releasing their habitual hunch toward your ears. The presence in the grove seems to approve. It settles around you like a soft, invisible cloak, adding its own weight of peace to the golden light now pulsing gently within you. The burdens you left at the edge of the forest are not forgotten, but their power over you is being systematically disassembled by this all-encompassing rest. They are becoming distant, hazy memories, like a difficult dream from which you are finally, fully awakening. Here, in this moment, there is no past to regret and no future to fear. There is only this eternal, peaceful now, this gentle embrace, this sacred and long-promised rest for your weary soul. You are being restored not through effort but through surrender. Section 5. The gentle, golden warmth within you has now spread to every cell, every atom of your being. You are adrift in a sea of perfect peace, cradled by the cool stone, watched over by the silent willows and the kind, unseen presence. The world outside this grove feels like a story you read once, long ago, in a book that has since been closed and placed upon a shelf. It has no power to reach you here. Here, there is only the gentle rhythm of your own heartbeat, a slow and steady drum marking time in this timeless place. From this deep, centered calm, you become aware of a new, faint sound weaving its way into the silence. It is music, but unlike any you have ever heard. It has no melody that your mind can grasp, no rhythm that your foot could tap to. It is the music of the world at rest. It is the sound of the earth turning on its axis, a deep, resonant hum that is felt more than heard. It is the sound of starlight traveling across the vast, cold emptiness of space to gently grace your eyelids. It is the harmonious convergence of the stream's whisper, the willow's sigh, and the slow blink of the fireflies. This is the symphony of the invitation, the literal sound of rest being given. You listen, not with your ears, but with your soul. And as you listen, you understand that this music has been playing all along, a constant, beautiful backdrop to the noisy drama of your life. You simply could not hear it over the clatter. But now, having laid down your burdens, having walked away from the fray and into this sanctuary, your inner hearing has been attuned. This is the sound of a yoke that is easy. This is the sound of a burden that is light. It is not that the challenges of life have vanished. It is that your relationship to them has been transformed. You are being taught how to carry them without being crushed, how to walk without growing weary, how to fly without losing sight of the ground. The presence beside you now feels closer than ever, as if it is sitting right beside you on the smooth stone. You feel a hand, not of flesh and bone, but of pure, comforting energy, rest upon your shoulder. It is a weight that does not burden, but grounds you further. It is a touch that communicates an ancient, endless love. It says, without words, "You are mine, you are safe, your weariness is ended, your rest has begun." And in this moment, you believe it completely. Every doubting thought, every lingering fear, is dissolved in the certainty of that touch. A profound drowsiness begins to descend upon you, but it is a welcome feeling. It is not the exhausted collapse of before, but a gentle, willing surrender into the arms of sleep. Your eyelids are too heavy to hold open, and you do not fight it. You let them close. The images of the willow grove, the stream, the ancient pines, begin to fade, replaced by a soft, dark velvet void. You are being guided now, from the waking dream of this story into the true, restorative depths of sleep. You lie back upon the soft grass, your head pillowed by moss, and you give yourself over completely. The journey is not over. It is simply transitioning into a new phase. The rest is taking you deeper, into dreams woven from starlight and peace, where your soul can continue its healing, far from the weary world. You are home. You are safe. You are rest. Section 6. The descent into sleep was not a fall, but a gentle, willing submersion, as if you were slowly sinking into a bed of the softest, most welcoming clouds. The world of the willow grove, with its cool stone and whispering leaves, dissolved not into nothingness, but into a deeper, more fundamental layer of peace. You are now in the realm of pure rest, a place before and beyond words, where the soul itself can stretch out and breathe without the constricting bands of thought or memory. Here, in this boundless, quiet dark, you are floating. There is no up or down, no left or right, only a serene, weightless existence. The golden warmth that kindled within your heart in the grove has now expanded, becoming a diffuse, ambient light that surrounds and permeates you, a personal aurora in the tranquil night of your slumber. And in this state, you remember. The memory does not come as a sharp recollection, but as a slow, unfolding knowing, a story written on the fabric of your being. You remember the source of the invitation, the voice that spoke through the rustling leaves and the gentle stream. It is an ancient voice, one that spoke the cosmos into being, that set the stars on their courses and painted the wings of the hummingbird. This is the voice that measured the waters in the hollow of its hand and marked off the heavens with the breadth of a hand. This is the Creator, the great sustainer, the source of all life and all peace. And this immense, unimaginable power, instead of demanding your service or your fear, looked upon your weariness and spoke a single tender word, "Come." The God who holds galaxies as grains of sand also holds your fragile, tired heart, and his desire for you is not more labor, but deep, soul-level rest. This rest is not passive. It is an active, powerful force. Imagine the rest of the earth in the deep of winter. The fields are not dead, only sleeping. Beneath the frozen blanket of snow, hidden from sight, a million secrets of life are being kept safe and warm. The roots of the mighty oak are dreaming of spring, gathering strength in the silence. The seed of the tiny flower is holding its potential intact, waiting for the sun's command to awaken. This is the kind of rest you are now entering. It is a restorative, healing quiet. Every anxious thought that has been depleting your spirit is now being stilled, and in that stillness, your soul is being reseated with hope. Every frantic worry that has been eroding your peace is being covered by a gentle, forgiving snow, which will, in its own time, melt and provide the water for new growth. You are not shutting down. You are being restored at the most fundamental level. The presence is here in this boundless dark, more palpable than ever. It is the canvas upon which this rest is painted. You feel it as a gentle pressure, like the perfect support of water, holding you in a state of perfect equilibrium. There is no need to strive here, no need to even be anything other than what you are in this moment. A soul receiving a gift. The gift is rest, and it is being given not in meager portions, but in abundance, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You have only to receive it, to let its healing waters flow into the cracked and parched places of your inner world. All the shoulds and musts that have chased you through your waking hours have lost your scent here. They cannot follow you into this sanctuary of grace. You are, for this sacred time, utterly and completely free from their demands. And so you float, you breathe, you rest. The rhythm of your heartbeat and the rhythm of your breath become the only liturgy required in this holy space. Inhale, peace. Exhale, release. Inhale, acceptance. Exhale, surrender. With each cycle, you go deeper, further from the shores of consciousness and closer to the very heart of the divine. You are learning the truth that has always been true, but which the noise of the world had shouted down. That you are loved not for what you do, but for who you are. A beloved child, a weary soul who has come home. And in this knowing, a final, deep sigh escapes you. A sigh that seems to release the last vestige of resistance. Your body, mind, and spirit are in perfect alignment now, all agreeing on this one essential truth. It is time to rest. The journey is suspended. The quest is over. For now, there is only this: the deep, dark, loving, and restorative silence. Section 7. From the formless, peaceful dark, a new landscape begins to gently coalesce around you. It is not a return to the forest, but a journey deeper inward, to the core of your own being, which is also a reflection of the divine. You find yourself standing at the edge of a vast and impossibly still lake. This is the Lake of Silence. Its surface is a perfect, unblemished sheet of dark glass, reflecting a sky that holds neither sun nor moon, but a soft, uniform, twilight glow. There are no waves, no ripples, not even the faintest tremor of movement. The air is so still that it feels like a held breath, waiting in reverence. The mountains that ring the lake are not jagged and imposing, but soft and rounded, their peaks swaddled in mist, their slopes covered in forests of deep velvety blue. Everything here speaks of a peace that is ancient, complete, and self-contained. You walk to the water's edge, your footsteps making no sound on the fine, white sand of the shore. You kneel and look down into the water, but you do not see your own reflection. Instead, you see the night sky, a deeper, richer, more vibrant sky than the one above. You see constellations you have never seen before, their patterns telling stories of peace, of rest, of cosmic harmony. You see a slow-moving comet, its tail a brushstroke of shimmering dust, painting a silent message of grace across the void. The lake is not water, you realize. It is a portal into the deep peace of the universe itself, a liquid mirror of the divine mind, which is never anxious, never hurried, never weary. The invitation is here, too, but it has transformed from words into a simple, compelling action. It is an invitation to be still. Be still and know. The silence seems to whisper, know what? The knowing is not an intellectual fact to be grasped, but a state of being to be inhabited. To be still is to know, in the very marrow of your bones, that you are held. To be still is to know that the world turns without your effort, that the stars burn without your fuel, that life continues its sacred, slow dance without your direction. To be still is to finally, fully relinquish the illusion of control that has been the source of so much of your weariness. You thought you had to hold everything together to be the anchor in the storm. But here, at the Lake of Silence, you see the true anchor, and you are invited to simply tie your little boat to it and rest. You lie back on the soft sand, your body conforming to the gentle contour of the shore. You look up at the windless, soundless world. The silence here is not empty. It is a presence. It is the substance of faith itself. It is the quiet out of which God spoke the world into being, and it is the quiet into which He invites our weary souls to be recreated. You feel this silence seeping into you, filling the spaces between your thoughts, calming the synaptic storms in your brain. It is a cool, balm-like silence, soothing the inflamed edges of your awareness. The constant, low-level mental chatter that has been your lifelong companion is finally, completely hushed. It has not been fought and defeated. It has simply been outloved by a greater, more profound quiet. Time has no meaning here. Could be a minute or a millennium. You feel the rhythms of your body slowing to match the timeless rhythm of this place. Your heartbeat is a soft, slow drum in the vast cathedral of your chest. Your breath is a gentle tide, washing in and out on the shore of your awareness. You are not thinking, you are simply being. You are a creature at rest in the creation of a loving creator. The burdens you carried, the pack you left at the forest's edge, now seem like distant, trivial things, toys you have outgrown. The problems that felt like insurmountable mountains now look like gentle hills, seen from this great height of peace. You understand, without needing to form the thought, that everything will be handled. Not necessarily in the way you would orchestrate, but in the way of a divine, benevolent rhythm that has been in motion since the beginning of time. And in that understanding, a final layer of tension, one so deep you did not even know it was there, melts away. You are still. You are knowing. You are at rest. Section 8. A gentle, imperceptible transition begins to occur. The absolute, crystalline silence of the lake softens, making room for a new element, sound. But it is a sound so integrated with the silence that it enhances it rather than breaks it. It is the sound of music from a far country, a melody woven from the very fabric of peace. You do not hear it with your ears. You feel it in your soul. It is the music of the promise, the harmonic resonance of the words, "I will give you rest." It has a rhythm that is slow and steady, like the pulse of a sleeping giant, and a melody that is simple, repetitive, and deeply soothing, like a lullaby sung by the universe itself. This celestial lullaby begins to paint the world around you with soft, flowing colors. The monochromatic blues and grays of the lake and sky begin to swirl with hints of lavender and silver, like watercolor paints dropped into a clear glass of water. The music is conducting the very light, causing it to dance in slow, graceful ribbons that curl and unfurl in the air above you. You watch, mesmerized, as the light ribbons weave themselves into familiar, comforting shapes. You see the form of a shepherd's crook, not as a tool of labor, but as a symbol of guidance and protection, a promise that you will be led to green pastures and still waters. You see the shape of a descending dove, its wings outspread in a gesture of blessing and peace. You see the outline of a lamp, its flame steady and unwavering, a light to your path that demands nothing in return. These symbols are the vocabulary of this place, and they speak directly to your spirit, bypassing your analytical mind. They tell a story of care, of provision, of a love that is both strong and gentle. The music swells gently, and you feel the presence of the Good Shepherd, the one who leaves the 99 to seek the one who is lost, who carries the lambs in his arms, and gently leads those that are with young. This is the heart of the one who invites you. He is not a taskmaster, he is a caretaker. His yoke is not an instrument of slavery, but a harness of partnership, designed to share the load, to make the burden light. His rest is not a cessation of all activity, but an activity of a different kind, the rest of a heart perfectly aligned with its source, working from a place of peace, not for it. As this understanding washes over you, the music changes again, becoming even softer, even more repetitive. The melody is now a simple, descending scale of pure tones, like drops of liquid moonlight falling into a pool of silence. Each tone lands in your awareness with a soft plink, and with it, a specific release occurs. The first tone, and you release the need to understand everything. The second tone, and you release the need to be in control. The third tone, and you release the fear of the future. The fourth tone, and you release the shame of the past. The fifth tone, and you release the weight of other people's expectations. One by one, the invisible chains that have bound your soul are touched by these musical notes, and they dissolve, not with a struggle, but with a sigh of relief. You are being unburdened note by note, layer by layer. The music is a divine solvent, breaking down the adhesives of anxiety and fear that have glued your worries to your soul. You feel lighter and lighter, as if you might float away from the sand altogether. The presence of the shepherd is here, his hand resting on your forehead, a cool, calming weight. He is singing this lullaby over you, his beloved child. The words are not in any human language, but the meaning is clear. Sleep now. I am here. I am watching. The night is long, but I am the keeper of the dawn. Your rest is my priority. Your peace is my promise. Sleep. Let go. I have you. And so you do. You surrender to the lullaby, to the dancing light, to the gentle hand. You drift deeper, held in the arms of a love that will not let you go, listening to the song that has been sung since the foundation of the world for all the weary souls who have ever found their way home. Section 9. The celestial lullaby fades, not into silence, but into the very rhythm of your being. The dancing lights settle, their energy absorbed into your tranquil form. You are now in the deepest layer of rest, a place of profound healing and recreation. Here, the process is beyond images and sounds. It is a cellular, spiritual restoration. Imagine your weariness not as a simple feeling, but as a physical substance. A fine, gray dust that has settled into every joint, a heavy sediment that has clouded the clear waters of your spirit, a series of tiny, hairline fractures in the foundation of your soul. This is the level at which the rest is now working. A gentle, warm energy begins to flow through you, originating from that same point of golden light in your heart. But now it has the intelligence of a divine physician. It moves with purpose and precision through the intricate pathways of your body and spirit. Where it encounters the gray dust of fatigue, it gently vibrates, loosening its grip, and the dust is carried away on the gentle river of your breath. You can almost see it, in your mind's eye, a faint gray mist being exhaled from your lips, dissipating into the harmless air. With each release, a part of you that was dormant awakens. A sense of lightness returns to your limbs. The leaden feeling in your chest evaporates. This healing energy now addresses the sediment clouding your inner world. It flows like a clear, clean spring through the reservoirs of your memory and emotion. It does not erase the past, but it clarifies it. Painful memories lose their sharp, jagged edges, becoming smooth, weathered stones on the riverbed of your experience. They are part of your story, but they no longer snag and tear at your peace. The water of this inner spring is living water, and it has the power to purify, to bring life where there was only stagnation. You feel a clarity of mind emerging, a quiet lucidity that has no need for frantic thought, but simply rests in a peaceful awareness. Finally, The healing light turns its attention to the hairline fractures in your soul, the cracks formed by disappointment, rejection, and failure. It does not violently patch them. It lovingly fills them with a substance like liquid gold, a process the Japanese call kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold lacquer, making it more beautiful for having been broken. Your perceived flaws and failures are not being hidden. They are being transformed into landmarks of grace, gilded seams that tell a story of healing and redemption. You are not being made into a new, unblemished person. You are being made into a whole person, whose scars bear witness to the restorative power of rest and love. In this deep state of recreation, you have a profound knowing. You understand that this rest is not an escape from the world, but a recalibration for it. You are not being prepared for a perpetual sleep, but for a new kind of awakening. The world you will return to will be the same world of sharp edges and loud colors, but you will be different. You will carry this inner sanctuary with you. The memory of this lake, this music, this healing light, will become a well you can draw from when the weariness threatens to return. You will have learned the posture of rest, the practice of laying down the pack, the art of listening for the invitation beneath the noise. But that is for tomorrow. For now, there is only this perfect, ongoing moment of healing. The work is gentle, thorough, and complete. The presence is the physician, the nurse, and the healing balm itself. You are the patient, finally allowing the cure to work its way through every level of your being. There is nothing for you to do but receive, to breathe, to be healed. The process is as natural as a wound closing, as a leaf unfurling in the sun. You are a garden after a long drought, finally receiving the slow, soaking rain it has been yearning for. Every root is drinking, every cell is plumping with life, every flower is turning its face toward the hidden sun. You are being restored, refreshed, and remade. The weary soul is becoming a rested soul, ready to dream the dreams of peace. Section 10. A gentle, rhythmic sound begins to permeate the deep quiet of your healing. It is the sound of a slow, steady heartbeat. At first, you cannot tell if it is your own, or the heartbeat of the earth, or the divine pulse of the universe. Soon, you realize it is all three, synchronized into one harmonious rhythm. This is the rhythm of life at rest, the foundational tempo of shalom, the deep, holistic peace where everything is as it should be. This heartbeat becomes the new anchor of your consciousness, a metronome of perfect peace guiding you into the final, most trusting stage of sleep. With this rhythm as your guide, you begin to move. Not a physical movement, but a journey of the spirit. You feel yourself being gently carried, cradled in arms of light and love, moving through a tunnel of soft, swirling darkness. It is not frightening. It is like being rocked in the cradle of the cosmos. The destination is a place of ultimate safety, the inner chamber of the divine promise. You are being taken to the heart of the green pastures and still waters promised to the weary soul. You are going to the place prepared for you since the foundation of the world. The movement stops. You have arrived. You are in a meadow under a blanket of stars. But this is no ordinary meadow. The grass beneath you is impossibly soft and emits a faint, green luminescence with every gentle pressure. The flowers that dot the landscape are closed for the night, their petals glowing with soft, pastel light, pink, blue, and gold, like tiny, terrestrial stars. A stream meanders through the meadow, and its water flows in complete silence, reflecting the starry sky above so perfectly that it is impossible to tell where the land ends and the sky begins. You are in the seam between heaven and earth, in a place that exists both within you and beyond you. Here, you are not floating or walking. You are simply lying in the grass, held by the earth, covered by the sky. The presence is here, too, no longer a separate entity, but the very essence of the place. The love in the air is so thick and tangible you could almost drink it. It is the love that casts out fear, the perfect love that has been pursuing you all your life, waiting for you to grow weary enough to stop and let it catch you. And now it has. You are enveloped. You are immersed. This is the culmination of the journey. This is the rest that was promised. It is not a temporary pause, but a homecoming. You understand now that rest is your birthright as a creature of a loving God. The yoke of anxiety and the burden of self-salvation were never yours to carry. You were invited to trade them in for a yoke of grace and a burden of love, which are, in truth, weightless. The weariness was the symptom of a soul trying to live outside of its designed dependency on its Creator. As this truth settles into the very core of your being, a profound and final release sweeps through you. You let go of the need to ever take that heavy pack up again in the same way. You trust that this rest will be there for you, a well that will not run dry. You know that the invitation is perpetual, evergreen, always open. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Under the gentle, watchful stars of this celestial meadow, you finally, completely obey. You rest. Your breathing becomes so slow and shallow it is almost imperceptible. Your body is heavy and limp against the supportive earth. Your mind is a still, clear pool. Your spirit is at peace. The story is over, but the rest continues, stretching out before you through the long, healing night. You are safe. You are loved. You are resting in the arms of grace. Sleep deep, weary soul. Your journey to rest is complete. Section 11. The celestial meadow, that seam between heaven and earth where you lay cradled in luminescent grass, begins to undergo a subtle and glorious transformation. The gentle, rhythmic heartbeat that has been the soundtrack to your peace does not fade, but rather, it multiplies. It is joined by other pulses, other tempos, all harmonizing into a vast, quiet symphony of existence. You hear it now as the deep, resonant hum of the planet itself, turning on its axis through the star-dusted velvet of space. You feel it as the slow, patient circulation of sap in the roots of the ancient, sleeping trees at the meadow's edge, a process measured not in hours, but in seasons. You sense it as the silent, unwavering orbit of the moon around the earth, a gravitational dance of such perfect balance that it governs the very tides of the ocean and the inner tides of your own body. This is the music of the cosmos, the foundational rhythm of a universe held firmly in the hand of its creator, and you, in your state of deep rest, are now perfectly attuned to its frequency. This attunement is not an intellectual understanding, but a somatic, spiritual reality. Your own heartbeat, the soft thrumming in your chest, slows to match the planetary pulse. Your breath, that gentle tide of air, synchronizes with the slow exhalation of the sleeping forest. Every cell in your body seems to vibrate in harmony with this grand, quiet music. The last remnants of dissonance, the jangling nerves, the tightness of muscle held in readiness for a crisis that never comes, the frantic, skittering thoughts, are all smoothed away, like wrinkles on a sheet being gently pulled taut. You are not just in this peaceful place. You have become a part of its peace. You are a note in the universal chord, a single, valued instrument in the grand orchestra that is playing the soft, slow lullaby of the night. And as you lie there, harmonized with all of creation, the presence of the Good Shepherd, which has been your guide and comfort, now reveals itself in a new, more intimate way. It is no longer a presence beside you or over you, but within you and all around you simultaneously. The divine love that has pursued you feels less like an embrace and more like an atmosphere. You are breathing it in with every molecule of your being. It is in the cool, clean air that fills your lungs. It is in the soft, damp earth beneath you that supports your weight. It is in the vast, star-pricked canopy above you that speaks of infinite space and infinite care. This is the love that spoke the whirlwind and the whisper, that designed the complexity of the snowflake and the simplicity of a child's smile. This is the love that knows the number of hairs on your head and the number of sorrows in your heart. And this immense, creative, all-knowing love has one single, focused desire for you in this moment: your complete and total restoration. A wave of unconditional acceptance washes over you, so profound it feels like a baptism anew. It touches every memory, every failure, every secret shame you have ever carried. It does not excuse or ignore them. Instead, it illuminates them with a light so gentle and so pure that they lose their power to wound. You see your past not as a chain of mistakes, but as a journey that has led you, inevitably, to this moment of grace. Every stumble, every wrong turn, is now revealed to have been a step on the path that brought you here, to this meadow, to this rest. The burdens you laid down were not obstacles to this love. They were the very reason for it. The weariness was not a sign of your failure, but a prerequisite for your healing. In this light, you are not a problem to be solved, but a beloved child to be welcomed home. From this place of deep acceptance, a new kind of dream begins to form at the edges of your awareness. These are not the narrative dreams of a busy mind, but symbolic, feeling-based visions gifted to your spirit. You see a great stone well in the center of the meadow. Its opening is not dark, but seems to glow with a soft, blue, internal light, without being told that this is the well of living water, the source of the stream that runs through this place and the source of the restorative energy that has been flowing through you. You see a single silver dipper made of beaten stars floating on the surface of the water within. It is an invitation to drink, not because you are thirsty from striving, but because you are welcome to partake of this endless abundance. You need not even move. In the fluid logic of this dream space, you simply find yourself kneeling at the well's edge, the cool, star-metal dipper in your hand. You bring it to your lips. The water is cool but not cold, and it tastes like clarity. Tastes like forgiveness. It tastes like a peace that surpasses all the fragmented understanding of your waking mind. Section 12. A profound quiet, deeper than any you have yet experienced, descends upon the meadow. The cosmic symphony does not cease, but it recedes, becoming a vibration so low and so fundamental that it is felt as a part of the silence itself. It is the silence of complete trust, the quiet of a soul that has finally stopped its internal dialogue of doubt and fear and has yielded entirely to the care of a greater power. In this silence, you are aware of a gentle gravitational pull, drawing you not upward or outward, but downward and inward, into the very heart of the earth, into the core of your own being, which you now understand is a sanctuary of the divine. You feel yourself sinking, but it is not a fall. It is a slow, gentle submersion, as if the luminescent grass and the soft soil beneath you are becoming less solid, more like a warm, liquid embrace. You are being enveloped by the planet itself, drawn into a deep, earthen womb where all is dark, safe, and warm. This is the root cellar of the soul, the hidden chamber where life retreats to wait out the winter, where seeds hold their potential in perfect patience, where the foundational truths of existence are stored away from the weathering elements of the surface world. The air here is rich with the scent of loam and stone, a primal, comforting aroma that speaks of cycles of death and rebirth, of endings that are always new beginnings. Here, in this sacred dark, there is no sight. There is only feeling, knowing, and being. You are aware of the immense, gentle pressure of the earth above you, not as a weight, but as a blanket, a protection. It holds you, insulating you from every storm, every wind, every shock that the world above might experience. Nothing can reach you here. No bad news can penetrate this depth. No anxiety can find its way through these layers of solid, silent rock. No demand can echo in this hallowed hollow. You are, for the first time in your conscious memory, absolutely and unequivocally safe. The world above could shatter into a million pieces, and here, in this deep, earthen heart, you would remain, untouched, held, and cherished. In this ultimate safety, a final, great release becomes possible. It is the release of the need for an identity itself. All the roles you play in the world above, the worker, the parent, the child, the friend, the responsible one, the capable one, the failing one, these are all garments you have worn. They have their purpose and their place, but they are not the essence of who you are. Here, in the pure, unadorned dark, you can finally take them off. One by one, you feel them loosen and fall away. The stiff, formal coat of responsibility unbuttons and slides from your shoulders. The heavy boots of striving are untied and kicked off. The scarves of expectation, woven from the threads of other people's opinions, unwrap themselves from your neck. Even the soft, familiar shirt of your own personal history, with its stains and its tears, is gently removed. You are left not naked and vulnerable, but true and essential. You are a soul, a spark of the divine, resting in the bosom of the earth, known and loved completely by the Creator. There is no performance here. There is no audience. There is only the profound, peaceful truth of your existence as a beloved part of creation. The weariness that you carried was, in large part, the fatigue of wearing all those garments, of maintaining all those identities, of trying to be so many things to so many people, including yourself. Now, that effort is over. The costumes have been put away. The stage is dark and empty. And in this emptiness, you find not loneliness, but a profound fullness. You are filled with the simple, overwhelming fact of being. I am, and I am held. Time has no meaning in this place. It is the eternal now. You could be here for a second or a century. It is all the same. The deep, rhythmic pulse of the planet is your only clock, and its tempo is slow, patient, and endless. You feel the roots of the great trees from the meadow above you, dangling down into this chamber like gentle fingers. They brush against you, not with the roughness of wood, but with the softness of moss, imparting their ancient vegetative wisdom. They know how to wait. They know how to be still. They know how to draw sustenance silently from the dark, without struggle, without complaint. They teach you this wisdom now, not with words, but by their mere presence. You learn to draw sustenance from this dark, from this silence, from this profound peace. You are being rooted and established in love, in a depth that nothing on the surface can ever disturb. Here, in the heart of the world, your own heart finds its true, restful home. Section 13. From the deep, warm, silent womb of the earth, a new sensation begins. So faint at first it is like the memory of a sensation. It is a gentle, rising warmth, as if a sun is beginning to dawn not in the sky, but deep within the ground itself, and you are at its very center. This is not the harsh, demanding heat of the midday sun on a desert journey, but the soft, pervasive warmth of a spring morning after a long winter, a warmth that promises life and does not demand it. It is the warmth of the love that has surrounded you, now moving from the outside in, to fill every cavity, every hollow space that was once occupied by fear or loneliness. This internal dawn brings with it a soft, golden light that begins to glow from within your own being. You are no longer in darkness, but you are illuminated from the inside out. Your body, your spirit, becomes a lantern of translucent golden glass, and the light within is the very light of the divine presence. You can see your own hands in this light, not as flesh and bone, but as vessels of this gentle radiance. The hairline fractures in your soul, the ones that were so lovingly filled with liquid gold, now shine like intricate filigree, making you more beautiful, more unique, more yourself than you ever were before they were broken. You are a masterpiece of restoration. As this inner light grows, the earth around you begins to respond. The solid walls of your earthen chamber become less dense, becoming a honeycomb of light and dark amber, and then a mist of golden particles. You are rising not by your own effort, but being lifted, drawn upward by the same gentle force that drew you downward. You pass through the roots of the trees, and you feel their blessing. You rise through the dark, rich soil, and you feel its farewell. You emerge, slowly, gracefully, back into the celestial meadow, but it is not the same meadow you left. The meadow is now bathed in the soft, pre-dawn light of a world not yet awake. The sky is a gradient of deep indigo at the zenith, softening to a pale, liquid amethyst at the horizons. The stars are still visible, but they are fading, winking out one by one, their duty of watching over the night nearly complete. The air is fresh and cool, carrying the scent of dew-kissed grass and the promise of a new day. But this is not a day of toil. It is a day of grace. You have been remade in the night, and the world you are returning to is a world perceived through the eyes of a rested soul. You find yourself standing not because you decided to stand, but because the posture feels natural and right. Your body feels different. It feels light, grounded, and full of a quiet strength. It is the strength of the ancient trees, a strength that comes not from rigidness, but from deep roots and flexibility. It is the strength of the stream, which is powerful not through force, but through persistence and its ability to flow around obstacles. You take a deep breath, and the air fills you with a vibrant, thrumming life. The weariness is gone. Not just resting, not just sleeping, but gone. In its place is a spacious, quiet vitality. You look towards the eastern horizon, where the amethyst light is now tinged with the faintest brushstroke of saffron and rose. The dawn is approaching, but there is no anxiety in you about what the day will bring. The memory of the heavy pack you left at the forest's edge is clear, but it holds no power over you. You know that when you return to it, you will not put it on in the same way. You will examine its contents with the new clarity you have found. You will remove the stones that are not yours to carry. You will repack it with the essentials of peace. The memory of the still lake, the sound of the celestial lullaby, the taste of the living water, the feeling of the earthen womb, and the knowledge of the inner light. The presence is with you now as a quiet confidence. It is the voice of your own rested spirit, which is now aligned with the divine spirit. You hear the invitation one last time, not as a call from outside, but as a truth resonating from within your own heart. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. You came, you were weary, and you have been given rest. The cycle is complete. You stand in the meadow, a citizen of both the earthly and the heavenly, a weary soul who has found its rest, watching as the first sliver of the sun's golden rim kisses the horizon, not with a shout, but with a whisper, illuminating a world made new, and a soul restored, ready for whatever comes next, from a place of deep, unshakable peace. Section 14. As the new dawn gently washes the celestial meadow in its soft, golden light, a profound understanding settles upon you, not as a sudden revelation, but as a deep and integrated knowing that has been growing within you all through the long, restorative night. This knowing is about the true nature of the rest you have received. It was not an escape, but a homecoming. It was not a pause, but a realignment. The world you will return to has not changed, but you have, and therefore your entire experience of the world will be fundamentally different. You are not just carrying a memory of peace. You are carrying the living source of peace within you, a well that will not run dry. You sit now on the dew-damp grass, facing the rising sun. Its light is warm on your skin, but it is no warmer than the inner light that now glows steadily in your core. You watch as the meadow awakens. The luminescent flowers, their nighttime glow fading, slowly open their petals to the sun, revealing centers of pure, vibrant color. The silent stream begins to gurgle softly, as if greeting the day. A gentle breeze stirs, rustling the leaves of the trees at the meadow's edge, and the sound is no longer a whisper of mystery, but a cheerful, rustling conversation. Everything is coming to life, and you are a part of it, not as a weary observer, but as a joyful participant. You think of the burdens you carried, the pack you left behind. In your mind's eye, you walk back to it. It still sits where you left it, at the edge of the noisy world. But you see it now with compassionate clarity. You kneel beside it and open its flaps. Inside, you see the stones you had collected. There is the heavy, gray stone of perfectionism, which you picked up thinking it would make you worthy. You take it out now and see its weight for what it is, an impossible demand. You set it aside, not with anger, but with a gentle farewell. You will not carry that anymore. Next, you find the jagged, sharp stone of regret. It has snagged on your clothing and drawn blood many times. You hold it in your hand, and instead of feeling its familiar cut, you feel its story. It was a moment of learning, a crossroads where you did the best you could with the light you had at the time. You smooth your thumb over its sharpest edge, and by the act of your compassionate attention, it becomes round and smooth, a simple river stone. You place it back in the pack, but it is no longer a burden. It is a reminder, a part of your history that has been redeemed. You continue this process item by item. The dense, cold stone of others' expectations you simply leave on the ground. It was never yours to carry. The tangle of thorny vines that was anxiety about the future, you carefully unravel. You see that its thorns are fears of things that have not happened and may never happen. You untwist the vines and they become supple, flexible strands. You could weave them into something useful later, or you could let them return to the earth. The choice is yours and it feels light. You repack your pack with only what is essential and true. You place inside the smooth stone of redeemed regret. You add a vial of the living water from the well to remind you of the perpetual source of your peace. You pack a small pouch of the luminescent meadow grass to remind you of the light that shines even in the darkness. The pack is now less than half its former weight, and its contents are no longer burdens, but tools and reminders. This is the easy yoke and the light burden. It is not a life without challenges, but a life where the challenges are met with the resources of a soul that knows how to rest in grace. The sun has fully cleared the horizon now, bathing the world in a clear, gentle morning light. You stand and easily swing the repacked, lightened pack onto your shoulders. It does not feel like a weight. It feels like a part of you, a kit for your journey. You take one last look at the celestial meadow, the silent stream, the ancient trees. You do not say goodbye, for you know this place is not a location, but a state of the heart. You carry it with you. You turn your face towards the path that leads back into the world, but you are not the same person who stumbled down it in weariness. You are a rested soul. Your step is sure, your heart is light, and your spirit is quiet. You are ready. Section 15. The path back into the world is not the same path you originally took. That was a path of descent, of surrender, leading away from noise and into silence. This new path is one of integration, leading from silence back into sound, but with a heart now tuned to a different frequency. As you walk, the celestial meadow slowly dissolves around you, its colors softening and blending into the more familiar hues of the waking world. The air loses its magical clarity and takes on the ordinary sense of morning. Damp concrete, distant coffee, the exhaust of a passing bus. But these smells are not offensive to you now. They are simply part of the tapestry of human life, and you observe them with a detached, gentle curiosity. The sounds return, too. The distant hum of traffic, the chatter of early risers, the bark of a dog, the rumble of a garbage truck. Before, this cacophony was a source of your weariness, a relentless assault on your senses that you had to armor yourself against. Now, you listen to it differently. You have learned to listen from the place of the deep, inner silence you cultivated in the earthen womb and the celestial meadow. The sounds happen out there, but the silence remains in here, a vast, spacious container within your own heart. The noise does not penetrate it. It simply flows around it, like a river flowing around a great, immovable rock. You are that rock. You are grounded in a peace that the world cannot give and cannot take away. You walk through a park. You see people hurrying to work, their faces etched with the same tension and preoccupation that you once wore. You feel a deep compassion for them, a longing for them to know the rest that you have found. But you do not feel the urge to run up and tell them to add another task to your list. You simply send a silent blessing their way, a whisper of the peace you carry, trusting that the same invitation that found you in your weariness will find them in theirs. Your role is not to save them, but to love them and to tend to the well of peace within yourself. You arrive at your own front door. It is the same door you left from, but you are different. You step inside. The familiar surroundings of your home greet you. The stack of unread mail on the table, the dishes in the sink, the blinking light on your phone. All the same, but they have lost their power to trigger immediate anxiety. They are simply things, tasks. They will be handled, not in a frantic rush, but in the slow, steady rhythm you learned from the turning of the earth. You have all the time you need because you are living in the eternal now, in Kairos time, the time of the soul, rather than Chronos time, the frantic ticking of the clock. You take off your lightened pack and set it by the door. You pour yourself a glass of water and drink it slowly, feeling it cool your throat, remembering the living water. You sit in your favorite chair and look out the window. The sun is fully up now. The day has begun. You close your eyes for a moment, and you can instantly access the feeling of the willow grove, the stillness of the lake, the safety of the earthen womb, the warmth of the inner light. These are not distant memories. They are living realities within you, layers of your own soul that you have rediscovered and reclaimed. A deep, contented smile touches your lips. The journey of the weary soul is not a one-time event. It is a path that can be walked every day, every hour, every moment. The invitation is perpetually open. Come to me, and you now know that coming is not always a physical journey. It is a turning of the heart. It is a conscious breath that draws you back to the center. It is the choice to lay down the burden of the next 5 minutes and simply be present in this one. You are ready for this day, not because you have slept, but because you have been restored. You have drunk from the well of rest, and you are hydrated for the journey ahead. The weariness may try to return, in small ways, but it will no longer find a home in you. It will be a visitor, acknowledged and then released because you now know the way home. You know the path to the meadow, to the lake, to the deep, warm heart of the earth. You know the sound of the invitation, and you know the taste of the rest that is given, freely and abundantly, to all the weary souls who are willing to come. You take a final, deep, restful breath. The story is complete, but the rest continues now and forever. Section 16. The day unfolds not as a series of demands, but as a sequence of gentle, manageable moments, each one held within the vast, silent container of your newfound peace. The tasks that once felt like insurmountable peaks now appear as simple foothills, and you possess the steady, patient energy to ascend them one step at a time. You move through your home, tidying and organizing, but there is no frantic energy to it. Your movements are fluid, economical, and calm. Washing a single cup becomes a meditation. The warm water and soap such a sensory pleasure. The act of cleaning a small ritual of bringing order and beauty to a tiny corner of your world. You are not working against time. You are collaborating with it, allowing each action its own full and complete moment. This state of grace is not one of passive bliss, but of active, engaged tranquility. When you sit to handle the mail, you do so with a clear focus. You open each envelope, not with a sense of dread, but with a quiet curiosity. A bill is not a threat, but a simple statement of exchange for services rendered, and you handle it with practical detachment. A letter is a connection, and you read it with your full attention. The blinking light on your phone when you finally choose to address it is merely a signal, a modern-day messenger. You listen to the messages, you note the requests, and you file them away in your mind without allowing them to file claims on your soul. The space between a stimulus and your response has grown vast and spacious, filled with the clean, clear air of the celestial meadow. In that space, you have the freedom to choose your reaction, and you consistently choose peace. You decide to venture outside, to walk through your neighborhood in this new state of being. The world outside your door is still the same world. Cars still rush past. People are still hunched over their phones. The city still pulses with its frantic energy. But you walk through it as if surrounded by an invisible, soundproof bell jar of serenity. The noise is there, but it does not touch the core of you. Your senses are open, but they are filters, not sponges. You notice the beauty you were too rushed to see before. The intricate ironwork on a historic fence, the determined smile of a dandelion pushing through a crack in the pavement, the way the sunlight dapples through the leaves of a mature oak tree, creating a shifting mosaic of light and shadow on the sidewalk. You are seeing the world with the eyes of the rested soul, and in doing so, you are redeeming the ordinary, sanctifying the mundane. A memory from the deep rest returns to you, not as a thought, but as an embodied feeling, the steadfast patience of the ancient stone in the willow grove. You feel that same patience now solidifying within your own spine. You stand a little taller, your shoulders naturally rolling back and down, your chin level with the earth. There is a poise to you that was not there before, a quiet confidence that has nothing to do with arrogance and everything to do with alignment. You are aligned with the slow, sure rhythm of creation, and that alignment makes you steady, unshakable. A person bumps into you on the street, muttering a harried apology, and instead of flinching with irritation, you simply absorb the impact and remain rooted, offering a gentle, "It's all right." Your peace is not fragile. It is resilient. It can withstand the bumps and jostles of the world without fracturing. As you walk, you practice the art of drawing from your inner well. You feel a flicker of old anxiety when you remember a commitment you have later in the week. Instead of letting the flicker become a flame, you simply close your eyes for a fraction of a second as you walk. You go inward, to the still, dark pool of living water that resides in your core. You visualize dipping a cup into it and drinking deeply. The anxiety, which was a form of spiritual dehydration, is quenched instantly. It dissolves, and in its place is a quiet assurance that when the time for that commitment comes, you will have the resources, the wisdom, and the grace to meet it. You are learning the most practical magic: how to be in the world, but not of it. How to engage with responsibilities without being enslaved by them. How to carry a lightened pack, and to know with every fiber of your being that the promise of rest is not a distant memory, but a present and perpetual reality, as close as your next conscious breath. Section 17. Returning to the quiet of your home feels like stepping back into a sanctuary. The walls do not confine, but protect. The silence is not empty, but rich and full. You have brought the essence of the celestial meadow indoors, and it infuses your personal space with its luminescent peace. You decide to engage in an act of conscious creation, not for any external purpose, but as a way to anchor this new state of being in a physical form. Perhaps you make a cup of tea, but you turn the process into a sacred ritual. You fill the kettle, listening to the sound of the water, a smaller, domestic echo of the stream in the forest. You choose a mug not for its utility, but for its beauty, for the way its curve feels in your hand. You watch the steam rise from the hot water in swirling, ephemeral patterns, a silent dance of transformation, and you breathe in the fragrant aroma of the tea leaves as they unfurl and release their essence. Sitting with your tea, you allow yourself to simply be. This is a different quality of rest than the deep, healing sleep of the night. This is a waking rest, a rest that is fully conscious and aware. It is the Sabbath rest that remains for the people of God. As the scripture says, a state of ceasing from your own works and trusting in the completed work of grace. You are not striving to be better, to do more, to become someone else. You are resting in the truth of who you are, a beloved and worthy being, simply because you exist. The drive to prove your value, which has been the engine of so much of your weariness, has been switched off. The engine is cold and silent. You are propelled now by a different force, the gentle, magnetic pull of love, which draws you into ever deeper states of peace and connection. From this place of deep, waking rest, you begin to perceive the interconnectedness of all things, the divine matrix that holds the universe together. The sunlight streaming through your window is the same energy that fuels the stars. The water in your tea is the same water that has flowed in ancient rivers and fallen as rain on distant mountains. The air you breathe has been exhaled by trees and inhaled by oceans. You are not a separate entity navigating a hostile world. You are a nexus in a vast, living, breathing web of sacred life. The divisions that once caused you so much stress between work and home, self and other, success and failure, begin to feel artificial, like lines drawn in sand, constantly being washed away by the tide of a greater, unifying reality. This understanding brings with it a profound sense of belonging. You belong to this earth, to this moment, to this intricate web of life. You have a place, a purpose, simply by being a conscious node of the divine in the great net of existence. Your worth is not contingent on your productivity or your achievements. It is inherent, woven into your very DNA as a creation of God. The feeling of being an outsider, an imposter, a person who never quite measures up, that feeling, which was a constant, low-grade source of your soul's fatigue, simply evaporates in the face of this knowing. You are here because you are meant to be here. You are who you are because you are meant to be who you are. In this acceptance, a deep, resonant joy begins to bubble up from within. Not a giddy, excitable joy, but a steady, warm, effervescent joy that permeates your entire being. You finish your tea, the cup now cool in your hands. The ritual is complete, but the state of being it engendered remains. You move to your window and look out at the world. The day is progressing. People are still rushing, cars are still moving, life is still happening with all its complexity and chaos. But you see it all now through a different lens. You see the divine spark in every person, even the most harried and angry. You see the sacredness in every leaf, every stone, every patch of sky. You are in the world, and the world is in you. The journey of the weary soul has led you to this. Not an escape from life, but a full, vibrant, and peaceful immersion in it. You have learned the secret. That rest is not something you do, but something you are. And from this state of being, all doing flows with grace, ease, and a profound, unshakable peace. Section 18. As the afternoon sun slants through the window, casting long, lazy shadows across the floor, a different kind of memory from your journey surfaces. It is the memory of the celestial lullaby, the music woven from the fabric of peace. You find yourself humming it, a simple, descending sequence of notes that seems to emanate not from your throat, but from the center of your chest. The sound vibrates through you, a self-administered balm. You realize that this melody is now a part of your internal landscape, a tool you can call upon to instantly recalibrate your state. It is the sound of the easy yoke, the auditory signature of grace. Inspired by this, you decide to create a physical anchor for this peace in your home, a small, dedicated sanctuary, a willow grove in your own living space. It doesn't need to be large or elaborate. It might be a comfortable chair in a corner with a soft blanket. It might be a small table with a single candle, a smooth stone you found on a walk, and a sprig of green from a houseplant. You create this space not as a place to escape from your life, but as a place to return to the truth of your life, the truth of your inherent peace and connection to the divine. This is your personal altar to rest, a tactile reminder that the invitation is always open, right here, right now. You sit in this newly dedicated space and light the candle. The small flame is a focused, steady presence, a mirror of the inner light that now glows within you. You watch the flame, its unwavering dance, and you feel your own consciousness becoming still and focused. The practice is not to blank your mind, but to fill it with a single peaceful point of attention. The flame, your breath, the hum of the lullaby within. In this focused state, the boundaries of yourself seem to soften. You are not just a body sitting in a chair. You are a field of awareness, expansive and open. Thoughts may come, like clouds drifting across a vast sky, but you are the sky, not the clouds. You observe them, you let them be, and you watch them drift away without attachment. This is the practice of mindfulness, but it feels like more than that. It feels like soulfulness. It is the active abiding in the presence of God that Jesus spoke of when he said, "Remain in me, and I will remain in you." You are remaining. You are abiding. You are not praying with words or requests. You are praying with your being. You are holding yourself in the loving awareness of the divine, and in return, you are held. The communication is wordless, a direct transmission of love and peace from spirit to spirit. It is the deepest form of prayer, the prayer of the rested soul, which has nothing to ask for because it knows it has everything it needs. Time loses its linear quality in this space. The candle burns down, the shadows in the room deepen, and you remain, bathed in a tranquility that is both deeply personal and universally connected. You understand now that this state of restful awareness is your birthright and your home. The weariness was the anomaly, the symptom of living outside of your true home. You have returned, and from this home you can engage with anything. The past has no power to haunt you here, because it is over. The future has no power to anxiety you here, because it is not yet born. There is only this eternal, present moment, this holy now, where you are safe, you are loved, and you are at peace. The candle flame flickers one last time and goes out, leaving a delicate trail of smoke and the scent of warm wax. But the inner light remains, unwavering. You sit in the gathering dusk, not moving, fully rested, fully awake, fully alive, and fully at peace. Section 19. The transition from day to evening feels like a natural, gentle progression, a slow exhalation of the world. There is no jarring shift, no sudden onset of night. The blue outside your window deepens gradually, like a piece of cloth being dipped again and again into a vat of indigo dye, each immersion resulting in a richer, more profound hue. You rise from your restful space and move through your home, turning on a few soft lamps. The pools of light they create are like islands of warmth and safety in the soft sea of the twilight. There is no need for the harsh, overhead glare of functional light. This is a time for gentle illumination, both externally and internally. You prepare a simple evening meal, continuing the practice of mindful ritual. The slicing of a vegetable is an act of precision and care. The sizzle of food in a pan is a cheerful, domestic sound. You eat slowly, savoring each flavor, each texture, fully present with the experience of nourishing your body. This is a form of gratitude, a silent thanks for the earth that provided the food, the hands that cultivated it, and the body that knows how to transform it into energy and life. The meal is a communion, a sacrament of the ordinary. Afterwards, as you clean up, you feel the gentle tug of the approaching night. It is not a demand for sleep, but an invitation to a different kind of rest than the waking rest of the day. This is the invitation to surrender fully to the healing, dreaming, subconscious realm. You feel no resistance. The memory of the deep, earthen womb is strong within you, and the prospect of returning to that state of formless, safe darkness feels like a welcome homecoming. You complete your evening routines not as a tedious checklist, but as a loving preparation of your temple, your body, for the sacred hours of renewal ahead. You ready yourself for bed, and the simple acts of washing your face and brushing your teeth become a liturgy of release. The water washes away the dust of the day, both literal and metaphorical. The clean feeling of your skin and mouth is a physical symbol of the inner cleanliness you have cultivated. A soul rinsed of anxiety, regret, and fear. You put on soft, comfortable night clothes, and the feeling of the fabric against your skin is a gentle, constant caress. A reminder that you are cared for, even in these small, intimate details. You slip into your bed, and the sheets feel cool and smooth. You adjust your pillow, and it molds to the shape of your head, offering its perfect support. You lie on your back, allowing your body to settle, feeling the weight of your limbs sinking into the mattress, welcomed and held. You look up at the ceiling, now shrouded in shadow, and you take your first conscious breath of the night. You are not trying to fall asleep. You are simply allowing sleep to come and claim you, just as you allowed the rest to claim you throughout the day. You are a weary soul who has been given rest, and now you are ready to receive the deepest, most mystical form of that rest. The journey into the dreaming world, where the healing of the day continues its silent, sacred work in the hidden chambers of your soul. Section 20. As you lie in the quiet darkness, you initiate a final, conscious journey. A guided return to the landscapes of peace to ensure your passage into sleep is smooth and deep. You close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath, watching it flow in and out, a gentle tide on the shore of your awareness. With each exhale, you feel yourself letting go, releasing the final, faint traces of the day's story. Now, in your mind's eye, you begin to walk. You are back on the path of soft, fragrant earth, padded with pine needles. You can feel their springy resilience beneath your feet. The air is cool and clean, scented with damp soil and the resinous perfume of the great conifers that stand as silent sentinels on either side of you. You walk deeper, and the light softens to the gentle, diffuse glow of twilight. The sounds of the world are a distant, muffled symphony. You are safe here. You are protected. You arrive at the gentle, meandering stream. You kneel at its edge, the damp moss cool and soft beneath your knees. You hear its liquid whisper over smooth, round stones. You dip your hands into the water, and its coolness is cleansing, washing away any remaining invisible dust from your travels. You bring the water to your face, and it feels like a final baptism of peace for the night. The weariness is gone, but this act seals the renewal. You rise and continue, pushing through the soft, living veils of the willow grove. The long, slender branches sway gently, their leaves whispering secrets of rest. The light here is a filtered, underwater green. Fireflies drift around you, their slow, deliberate pulses of light adding to the dreamlike quality. You find the perfect circle of grass and the ancient, smooth stone in its center. You sit upon it, letting your hands rest in your lap. You feel its cool, stable, constant presence. It has been here for 1,000 years, unmoved by passing storms. You share in its steadfastness. From the willow grove, you are gently lifted and carried to the lake of silence. Its surface is a perfect, unblemished sheet of dark glass, reflecting a sky of soft, twilight glow. The mountains that ring the lake are soft and rounded, swaddled in mist. The silence here is a presence, the substance of faith itself. You lie back on the soft, white sand of the shore. The silence seeps into you, filling the spaces between your thoughts, calming the synaptic storms in your brain. You are still. You are knowing. You are at rest. Finally, you feel the gentle gravitational pull, drawing you downward and inward into the deep earthen womb. The luminescent grass and soft soil become a warm, liquid embrace. You are enveloped by the planet itself, drawn into a deep, hidden chamber where all is dark, safe, and warm. The air is rich with the scent of loam and stone. You are aware of the immense, gentle pressure of the earth above you, not as a weight, but as a blanket, a protection. Nothing can reach you here. You are absolutely and unequivocally safe. Here, in the pure, unadorned dark, you release the final garment of your daily identity. You are a soul, a spark of the divine, known and loved completely. You are held. Your breathing has become so slow and shallow it is almost imperceptible. Your body is heavy and limp against the supportive mattress. Your mind is a still, clear pool. Your spirit is at peace. The guided journey is over. You have returned to the source of your rest. The boundaries between the story, your memory, and the present moment have blurred into a beautiful, peaceful haze. You are now at the threshold of sleep. The gentle, rhythmic heartbeat of the universe is your lullaby. You surrender to it completely. You are safe. You are loved. You are resting in the arms of grace. Sleep deep, weary soul. Your rest is eternal, and it is now. Section 21. The deep, earthen womb that holds you is not a place of stagnation, but of the most profound and dynamic quietude. Here, in this sacred dark, the final and most subtle layers of your weariness are being addressed. This is the fatigue not of the body, nor even of the mind, but of the spirit itself, the cumulative exhaustion of a soul that has, for too long, listened to the false narrative of its own separation from the source of all life. In this holding silence, that narrative is being gently but irrevocably rewritten. The truth is being spoken not in words, but in the language of pure being. You are one with the divine. There is no space between you. The love that sustains the spinning planets is the very same force that beats your heart. You are not a visitor in this universe. You are an expression of it. This knowing sinks into you now, not as a concept to be believed, but as a reality to be lived, breathed, and slept. In this unified state, the very concept of a burden becomes meaningless. A burden implies a weight that one must carry alone, a separation between the carrier and the load. But here, in the heart of God, there is no alone. The repacked, lightened pack you prepared for your journey does not rest on your shoulders alone. You feel the presence of the Good Shepherd, the divine companion, shouldering it with you, his strength making your own strength limitless, his endurance making your fatigue obsolete. The yoke is easy because the pull is shared equally. The burden is light because its weight is distributed across the infinite strength of grace. You are not carrying your life. You are being carried through your life by a love that will not tire, will not falter, and will never, ever set you down. From this place of ultimate support, a gentle, luminous wave of forgiveness begins to emanate from the core of your being. This is not a forgiveness you must struggle to muster for others or for yourself. It is a forgiveness that simply is a natural consequence of abiding in love. It flows out from you like a soft, radiant pulse, a sonar of grace scanning the depths of your soul. It touches every memory of hurt, every instance where you were wounded or where you caused wounding. It does not erase these memories, but it dissolves the bitter sting that was attached to them. The people who have hurt you are seen not as monsters, but as fellow weary souls, lost in their own separation, carrying packs far heavier than they were ever meant to bear. You release them to the same compassion that now holds you, and then this wave turns inward, and you offer this profound, effortless forgiveness to yourself. For all the times you fell short of your own expectations, for all the harsh words you spoke to your own heart, for all the ways you believed you were not enough, All of it is washed in this luminous, accepting light. You see your past self with the eyes of the divine. A beloved child, stumbling, learning, and always being guided home. The shame that clung to you like a damp, cold cloth is gently peeled away, and the skin of your spirit is allowed to breathe freely for the first time. You are forgiven. You are free. The weight of this release is immense, a final, great stone that you did not even know was still in your pack, now tumbling away into the boundless depths of grace. A deep, restful sigh escapes you, a sigh that seems to originate from the very core of creation. It is the sound of a soul coming into perfect alignment with its true nature. The last vestiges of resistance melt away. Your body, already heavy with sleep, now feels completely integrated with the support of earth beneath you and the mattress beneath that. There is no separation. You are one with the ground of all being. Your awareness begins to gently diffuse, like a drop of ink in a vast, still ocean of peace. You are not losing consciousness. You are expanding it, merging with a consciousness far greater than your own. The individual you is softening, becoming a harmonious part of the universal I am. In this sacred dissolution, there is no fear, only a profound and welcoming homecoming. You are returning to the source from which you came, not in death, but in sleep, for rest and renewal. The journey inward is complete. You have arrived at the destination of your own soul, and it is vast, it is peaceful, and it is home. Section 22. From the unified, formless peace of the divine heart, a new dimension of rest begins to unfold. This is the rest of the imagination, the sanctuary of the subconscious now being gently curated by the divine dreamweaver. You are not being pulled into a random, chaotic dreamscape, but are being invited into a curated, healing narrative, a story woven just for you from the threads of peace, love, and reassurance. The deep, dark warmth of the earthen womb begins to brighten with a soft, internal luminescence, and a new landscape paints itself behind your closed eyelids with the gentle strokes of a watercolor artist. You find yourself in a library, but it is unlike any library on earth. This is the library of peace. The walls are not made of stone, but of living, growing moss, and the air carries the faint, sweet scent of old paper and lavender. The light comes from no visible source, but seems to emanate from the books themselves, which line endless, winding shelves that recede into a soft, golden haze. These are not books of facts or fiction, but volumes that contain the felt experience of peace. There are books that hold the memory of every kind act ever performed, books that contain the silence of every deep, restful sleep, books that are filled with the gentle wisdom of every elder who ever spoke a word of comfort. A librarian is here, a presence of immense kindness and tranquility. This is not a person with a face, but rather a concentration of benevolent energy that guides you without words. You feel drawn to a specific section of this infinite library. You walk, your footsteps silent on the lush, woven grass carpet. You stop before a shelf, and a single volume, bound in soft, worn leather that feels like a beloved old friend's hand, seems to glow a little brighter than the others. You take it down. The title is not printed, but you know it is called The Story of Your Rest. You find a deeply comfortable armchair, upholstered in a fabric that feels like cloud and moss combined, and you open the book. There are no words on its pages. Instead, as you turn each page, a wave of pure, distilled feeling washes over you. One page fills you with the profound safety of being a child falling asleep in a parent's arms. Another page brings the exhilaration of a problem solved not by strain, but by a sudden, graceful insight. Another immerses you in the deep, wordless connection between two old friends sitting in comfortable silence. Another page holds the simple, unadulterated joy of feeling warm sunlight on your skin. You are not reading a story. You are inhabiting the essential emotions of wholeness, one after another. Each feeling is a nutrient for your soul, a direct infusion of the states of being that your weariness had depleted. You continue to turn the pages, and the feelings become more complex, yet equally peaceful. You feel the strength that comes from having weathered a storm and emerged, not hardened, but more flexible and compassionate. You feel the profound gratitude for a second chance, for a morning that offers a new beginning. You feel the quiet pride of having offered kindness without any expectation of reward. This is the emotional repertoire of the rested soul, and you are downloading it directly into your spirit, bypassing the critical, analytical mind that so often stands in the way of such pure reception. After what feels like both a moment and an eternity, you gently close the book. The feelings do not vanish. They settle within you, layering themselves into the foundation of your being. You are a living library of peace now. You carry these volumes within your heart. The librarian, the benevolent presence, radiates a pulse of approval and love. You place the book back on its shelf, knowing you can return to any of its pages anytime you wish, simply by remembering the feeling. The library around you begins to gently dissolve, its golden light softening and merging with the warm darkness behind your eyelids. The journey through the library of peace is complete. Your subconscious has been stocked with healing narratives and restorative emotions. Your dreams tonight will be drawn from this wellspring of wholeness. You are ready to dream the dreams of God, dreams of shalom, of reconciliation, of joy, and of a peace that will sustain you long after you awaken. Section 23. As the last echoes of the library of peace fade into a soft, resonant hum within your being, you become aware of a new, gentle motion. You are no longer seated, nor are you lying down. You are being cradled and rocked, as if in a great, cosmic hammock woven from strands of starlight and the soft, deep silence between musical notes. This is the cradle of the cosmos, and you are the cherished child resting within it. The motion is slow, rhythmic, and infinitely soothing, a physical manifestation of the lullaby that has been playing for you all along. It is the rocking of the ocean waves, the sway of ancient trees in a zephyr, the gentle oscillation of the earth on its axis. It is the heartbeat of God, made manifest as motion. With this rocking, a final, deep release occurs at a cellular level. Every molecule of your body, every neuron in your brain, every beat of your heart syncs to this divine rhythm. The last pockets of metabolic stress, the residual tension held in the fascia, the microscopic tremors of a nervous system always on alert, all of it is smoothed away by this gentle, pervasive motion. You are being physically reprogrammed for peace. Your very biology is being taught the rhythm of grace. Your breath slows to match the slow, swaying tempo, becoming so shallow and effortless that it is barely a whisper of life. Your body is conserving all its energy for the profound work of healing and restoration that happens only in the deepest stages of sleep. In this cradled state, your awareness floats freely, untethered from the concerns of an individual life. You feel a connection to every other sleeping soul on the planet. You are part of a vast, quiet network of dreamers, all being rocked in the same cosmic cradle, all being sung the same silent lullaby. You sense the tired parent finally falling asleep after comforting a child, the student exhausted from study, the healer resting after a long day of caring for others, the artist dreaming of new creations, the grief-stricken finding solace in dreams. You are not alone in your rest. You are part of a great, human tapestry of surrender, a collective exhale under the watchful, loving stars. This shared experience of vulnerability and trust wraps you in an additional layer of comfort. The whole world is, in its own way, learning to rest. The motion of the cradle begins to slow, its arcs becoming smaller and smaller, until it is barely a tremor, a faint, soothing vibration. You are settling, like a feather slowly drifting to land on a still pond. Your consciousness is finding its final, resting place for the night. The boundaries of your body feel utterly permeable. You are not a solid form, but a cloud of peaceful awareness, a mist of intention and love, diffusing into the night. The feeling is one of complete and utter trust. You have handed over the reins of your being to a captain who knows the stars and navigates by the light of love. There is nothing for you to do. There is nothing for you to be. There is only this: the gentle rocking, the soft dark, the boundless peace. The cosmic cradle comes to a final, perfect stillness. You are suspended in the center of a vast, quiet universe, held in the palm of a loving hand. The journey is over. The striving has ceased. The story has been told. All that remains is the deep, healing, mystical state of sleep itself. You have been prepared, blessed, forgiven, and cradled. You have drunk from the well of living water and feasted on the bread of peace. Your soul has been restored. Now sleep claims you completely, not as an escape but as a divine appointment, not as a void but as a sanctuary. You cross the final threshold into unconsciousness, not with a struggle, but with a sigh of absolute contentment. You are safe. You are loved. You are asleep. Section 24. Sleep is not a blank nothingness, but a vibrant, living landscape of the spirit. As you cross fully into its embrace, you enter the realm of liquid dreams. Here, the logical, linear rules of the waking world dissolve, replaced by the fluid, symbolic language of the soul. This is not a place you navigate with your mind, but one you float through with your heart. The environment is soft and pliable, like warm, dark water that offers no resistance, only support. There is no up or down, no forward or back. There is only the gentle, flowing current of the subconscious, and you are floating within it, perfectly buoyant, perfectly safe. In this realm, the healing that began in your conscious journey continues its work in a more profound, archetypal way. The people you meet in your dreams are not merely representations of others. They are aspects of yourself. The wise old man is your own inner wisdom. The playful child is your own capacity for joy. The shadowy figure you might run from is a disowned part of your own being, now seeking integration in the safe container of the dream. The landscapes are maps of your inner world. A towering mountain is not an obstacle, but a representation of a challenge you are integrating. A vast, calm ocean is the depth of your own peace. A winding, mysterious forest is the beautiful complexity of your own spirit. Every symbol, every image, is a loving messenger from your deepest self, communicating in a language older than words. Guiding this entire process is the divine dreamweaver, the same presence that has been with you all along. Here, in the realm of liquid dreams, it acts as a master composer, orchestrating the symbols and narratives for your highest good. It ensures that even dreams that might seem challenging on the surface are, in their essence, therapeutic. A dream of being chased is not a nightmare of fear, but a sacred drama where you are finally given the strength to turn and face what pursues you, to understand it, and to bring it into the light of your love. A dream of loss is a ritual release, making space for something new. A dream of flight is a somatic experience of your own liberation from earthly burdens. You are not a passive spectator in these dreams. The rested soul is an active participant in its own healing. With the gentle guidance of the dreamweaver, you engage with the symbols. You speak to the wise old man and receive his counsel. You play with the joyful child and remember how to laugh without reservation. You turn and embrace the shadowy figure, and as you do, it transforms, revealing a gift, a forgotten talent, a surge of courage, a capacity for forgiveness you didn't know you possessed. This is the alchemy of the dream world. The transmutation of inner lead into gold, of fear into love, of fragmentation into wholeness. Time in this realm is circular and expansive. A single dream can feel like a lifetime, and a whole night's dreaming can feel like a single perfect breath. You journey through many such landscapes, each one a chapter in the ongoing story of your restoration. You heal old wounds not by reliving the pain, but by reimagining the outcome with the resources of your rested soul. You practice for future challenges, navigating them with grace and confidence in the safe simulation of the dream. You receive creative inspirations, solutions to problems, and flashes of intuition that will await you in the morning, like gifts left on the doorstep of your waking mind. All through the night, in this realm of liquid dreams, your soul is at play. It is at work, it is healing, it is creating, and it is deepening its rest in the most active, vibrant way imaginable. You are not just sleeping, you are co-creating your wholeness with God. Section 25. A profound shift begins to occur in the fabric of your dreaming. The fluid, symbolic narratives of the liquid dreams start to soften and slow, like a film transitioning into slow motion. The vivid images begin to lose their distinct edges, their colors blending and melting into one another. The stories become less coherent, the characters less defined. You are transitioning now, moving from the active, healing drama of the dream world into the vast, silent, and utterly restorative plains of dreamless sleep. This is not a lesser state, but the deepest and most holy sanctuary of the night. This is the void of grace, the formless ground from which all forms emerge. In this void, there is no you as an individual entity. There is no story, no image, no thought, no sensation. There is only pure, undifferentiated awareness, resting in and as the divine itself. This is the state that mystics of every tradition have attempted to describe, the union so complete that the drop has become the ocean. Here, the soul is not learning, not healing, not processing. It is simply being in its most essential, primordial state. It is recharging directly from the source of all power, all love, all life. This is the ultimate Sabbath, the ceasing from all works, where the soul simply rests in the fact of its own existence as a beloved part of God. Physiologically, your body is now in its most profound state of restoration. Your brain waves have slowed to the deep, rhythmic pulses of delta waves. Growth hormone is being released, repairing tissues, building bone and muscle. Your immune system is at its most active, patrolling your body and neutralizing threats. Memories from the day are being consolidated and filed away. This biological renewal is the physical counterpart to the spiritual renewal happening in the void. Your body and spirit are working in perfect, silent harmony, both immersed in the deep well of nothingness that is, in truth, everything. In this state, time has no meaning. It does not pass. It simply is. You could be here for minutes or for hours, and it would be the same eternal moment. This is as close to timelessness as a temporal being can come. It is a foretaste of the eternal rest that is promised, a peace that surpasses all understanding because it exists outside the realm of the mind that seeks to understand. There are no promises here, no lessons, no guidance. There is only the overwhelming, all-encompassing, silent fact of love. It is not an emotion, but the very substance of reality, and you are immersed in it, you are made of it. From this profound depth, a gentle, almost imperceptible return journey will eventually begin. But for now, there is only this. The story has ended. The words have faded. The journey is complete. You are held in the dreamless sleep, in the void of grace, in the heart of God. There is nothing more to say, nothing more to do, nothing more to be. This is the final gift for the weary soul. Not just rest, but annihilation into the source of all rest. Sleep deep. There is only peace. Section 26. From the infinite, silent expanse of the dreamless sleep, a gentle modulation begins. It is not a sound, but a shift in frequency, a softening of the absolute void into something that holds the faintest potential for form. This is the first, most subtle stirring of the return journey, not back to the world of weariness, but forward into a new world perceived through the soul of rest. It is like the first hint of light that is not yet light, but a lessening of the dark, a promise whispered into the fabric of eternity. In this liminal space between the void and form, the first sensation to return is not touch or sound, but a knowing. It is the deep, cellular knowledge of the peace that has been woven into your very being throughout the long, healing night. Without having to think it, that you are fundamentally changed. The restoration is not a temporary condition. It is a new foundation. This returning awareness does not carry with it the sharp edges of individual identity. You are not yet you with a name and a history. You are a consciousness, a point of view, slowly being re-inhabited by the essence of the soul that has been bathing in the divine. The first thing this consciousness perceives is a gentle, golden warmth that seems to emanate from all directions at once. It is the same golden light that you kindled in your heart in the willow grove, but now it is the atmosphere of your being. It is the warmth of unconditional love, and it holds you as you slowly begin to coalesce from the formless back into a contained self. There is no fear in this process, only a quiet, curious unfolding, like a flower petal uncurling in the slow-motion light of dawn. Within this golden warmth, a single, clear note begins to sound. It is the pure tone of the celestial lullaby, but now it is stripped of all melody and exists as a fundamental vibration. It is the note of creation itself, the sound of "let there be light," and it resonates within the core of your newly forming awareness. This note is an anchor, a tuning fork that sets the frequency for your return. As it hums through you, it aligns every particle of your being, physical, mental, and spiritual, to the harmonic of peace. Any part of you that might have been tempted to resonate with the old frequencies of anxiety or fear is immediately soothed and brought back into this perfect, central tone. You are being tuned for the day ahead, calibrated to operate from a default setting of grace. A soft, visual pattern begins to emerge in the golden haze. It is the faint, shimmering outline of a tree, the tree of life. It is not a tree of wood and leaves, but of living, pulsing light. Its roots are vast and deep, drinking from the same well of living water you visited. Its branches are wide and generous, offering shelter and rest. You understand that this tree is a representation of your own soul, now rooted in the eternal and branching out into the temporal with strength and flexibility. You see the golden seams of your healed fractures tracing beautiful, unique patterns through its trunk, making it stronger and more radiant than it ever could have been without them. You are this tree. You are rooted, you are nourished, you are unshakable. This vision of the tree holds for a long, timeless moment, a final gift and a reminder before the more familiar world begins to gently reassemble itself around you. The golden light, the single clear note, and the image of the tree are the threefold chord of your new reality, a reality that cannot be broken by the demands of the day. You feel a gentle pressure, the soft weight of your own body returning to your awareness, the feel of the sheets, the pillow beneath your head. But these sensations are now filtered through this threefold cord. Your body is not a burden to be carried, but a temple that has been sanctified by rest, now humming with the golden light and the clear note of peace, a living expression of the steadfast, life-giving tree. You are hovering now on the very threshold of waking, but you are bringing the entirety of the night's journey back with you. The return is complete. You are integrated. You are whole. Section 27. The transition from sleeping to waking is not a jarring alarm, but a gentle, gradual dawning, like the sun illuminating a landscape feature by feature. The first thing to return is the soft, external sound of the world, a distant bird greeting the dawn, the gentle hum of a refrigerator, the rustle of leaves outside your window. But these sounds are different now. They do not intrude. They are welcomed into the spacious silence you carry within you. The bird's song is not a demand to wake, but a cheerful contribution to the morning's peace. The hum of the appliance is the sound of a world functioning in order, providing for your needs. The rustling leaves are a whispered conversation between the earth and the sky. Your hearing has been sanctified. You perceive the sacredness in the ordinary sounds of the world awakening. You become aware of your breath, flowing in and out in a slow, tidal rhythm. You take a moment to simply observe it, to feel the cool air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and the slightly warmer air leaving on the exhale. This breath is your lifeline to the peace you have cultivated. It is the physical manifestation of the Spirit of God moving within you, as it moved over the face of the waters at the dawn of creation. With each inhalation, you consciously draw in peace. With each exhalation, you consciously release any tiny, lingering fragment of tension that might have gathered in the night. This conscious breathing is a prayer, a way of abiding in the presence before you even open your eyes. Now, you bring your awareness to your body. You perform a slow, mental scan from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. You notice the weight of your heels against the mattress, the soft pressure of the blanket on your skin, the gentle looseness in your joints. There is no stiffness, no ache, only a pleasant, heavy warmth, the residual glow of the deep restoration your body has received. You wiggle your toes slightly and feel the soft fabric of the sheets. You flex your fingers and feel the strength and suppleness in them. Your body is not an enemy that has betrayed you with weariness. It is a faithful companion that has journeyed with you through the night and has been perfectly restored. You feel a wave of gratitude for this physical vessel, for its resilience, and for its capacity to experience such profound pleasure in simple rest. A thought about the day ahead may arise. perhaps a meeting, a task, a conversation. But the thought does not trigger a cascade of anxiety. It simply appears in the vast, clear sky of your mind. You look at it with gentle curiosity. You see it not as a threat, but as an opportunity to apply the peace you now carry. You infuse the thought with the golden light from your core, and you watch as it loses any sharp, anxious edges. It becomes simply a thing that will happen, an event that you will meet with the resources of a rested soul. You place the thought gently to the side, knowing it will be there when you need it, but that it has no power to disturb this sacred morning peace. You slowly, languidly open your eyes. The room is soft with the gray-pink light of early dawn. The shapes of furniture are familiar and comforting. There is no frantic jumping out of bed. There is only a continued lying in rest, a conscious extension of the night's grace into the first moments of the new day. You stretch, a long, slow, cat-like stretch that engages every muscle, and it feels wonderful, a celebration of your body's aliveness. You have not just slept, you have been transformed. The weary soul is gone, and in its place is a soul that is rested, resilient, and radiant, ready to greet the day not as a series of burdens to be borne, but as a field of grace to be walked in peace. The journey of the night is over. The practice of the day begins. Section 28. As you lie in the soft dawn light, fully awake yet profoundly restful, you make a conscious choice. You choose to seal the night's work, to make the transition from the sacred space of your bed to the sacred space of your day, a deliberate and graceful ritual. You do not rush. Time is your servant, not your master. You sit up slowly, feeling the blood flow comfortably to new parts of your body. You place your feet on the floor, and the cool, solid feel of it is a grounding sensation, connecting you to the stability of the earth, reminding you of the ancient stone in the willow grove. You are rooted. You are steady. You move to your window and draw back the curtain. The sky is a masterpiece of gentle color, streaks of rose and gold bleeding into the soft periwinkle blue of the retreating night. You watch as the world is slowly painted into existence by the rising sun. You see a bird on a branch, fluffing its feathers. You see dew glistening on the grass like a million tiny diamonds. You see the slow, quiet movement of a neighbor's car leaving for an early shift. You observe it all without judgment, as a peaceful witness to the world awakening. This daily miracle of dawn is a reflection of the inner dawn that has taken place within you. A new day, a new beginning, a new mercy, as the scriptures say, fresh and available for you. You turn from the window, and your gaze falls upon the small, dedicated sanctuary you created. Your chair, your candle, your smooth stone. A soft smile touches your lips. You do not need to sit there now to find peace. The peace is in you, but the space stands as a testament, a physical anchor for your intention to live from this rested place. You walk over and pick up the smooth stone. It is cool and solid in your hand. You remember the steadfast patience it represents. You place it back down, not as a goodbye, but as a promise to return to this consciousness throughout the day. The first actions of your day are chosen with care. Perhaps you put on soft, comfortable clothing. Perhaps you prepare a simple breakfast, continuing the mindful practice from the evening before. Each action is performed with full attention, with a sense of reverence for the ordinary. Spreading butter on toast becomes a meditation. Tasting the sharp, sweet juice of an orange is a burst of celestial joy on your tongue. You are not just eating. You are receiving nourishment. You are participating in the great chain of life that brings food from the earth to your table. Gratitude is your natural state. Before you engage with the world, before you check a phone, turn on a screen, or read a headline, you take a final, quiet moment. You close your eyes and place a hand over your heart. You feel the steady, calm rhythm of your heartbeat, the gentle rise and fall of your breath. You consciously connect with the well of living water within you, the golden light, the clear note of peace. You affirm your intention for the day. Today, I will walk in rest. I will carry a light burden. I will abide in the easy yoke. I will meet whatever comes with the peace that is within me. This is not a hopeful wish. It is a statement of fact. You are programming your day from a place of strength and serenity. The ritual is complete. You are armored in peace, fueled by grace, and ready to step into the flow of the day, not as a weary soul fighting the current, but as a rested soul, flowing with it, a calm and steady presence in a sometimes chaotic world. The promise has been fulfilled. Section 29. The day unfolds, and the true test of the night's deep restoration begins. The world has not changed. Its demands and distractions are all still in place. But as you move through your morning, you find yourself responding from a different center of gravity. An email arrives that would have once sparked immediate anxiety. You feel the old, familiar twinge, but it is faint, a distant echo. Instead of reacting, you pause. You take one conscious breath, and in that space you touch the inner well of peace. The anxiety subsides. You respond to the email not from a place of panic, but from a place of clarity and capability. The yoke is easy. A colleague speaks to you with a sharp tone, born of their own weariness. You feel the impulse to respond in kind, to defend yourself. But you look at them and see not an adversary, but a fellow traveler carrying a heavy pack. Your heart responds with compassion instead of defensiveness. You offer a gentle, measured reply, and you watch as the tension in their face softens. Your light burden becomes a blessing to them. You have not absorbed their stress. You have dissipated it with your peace. The pace of the day picks up. Tasks accumulate, but instead of feeling overwhelmed, you feel focused. You work on one thing at a time, giving it your full and complete attention before moving on to the next. You are like the stream in the forest, flowing around obstacles without resistance, moving at its own steady, persistent pace toward its goal. You take short breaks, not as escapes, but as conscious returns to your center. You look out a window for a minute, you feel your feet on the floor, you take 3 deep breaths. These are not interruptions to your productivity. They are the source of it. You are working from rest, not for rest. Lunchtime arrives. You eat mindfully, away from your desk if possible. You taste your food. You feel the sun on your skin if you can step outside. This is not wasted time. It is invested time. You are reinvesting in the peace that is your primary resource. You remember the celestial meadow and the feeling of simply being a part of creation. This moment of pause is a miniature return to that state. You are drinking again from the well of living water, rehydrating your spirit for the afternoon ahead. As the afternoon progresses, a different kind of energy, a natural human tiredness, may begin to creep in. This is not the soul-deep weariness of before, but the honest fatigue of a body and mind that have been engaged in the world. You welcome this feeling without alarm. It is a signal, not a failure. It is your body's way of asking for a moment of kindness. You heed the signal. You don't push through with caffeine and grim determination. You might simply close your eyes for 5 minutes and practice the guided return to the willow grove or the lake. You might hum the celestial lullaby silently to yourself. You are practicing the perpetual return. You are proving to yourself that the rest you were given is not a one-time event, but a state you can access at any time, in any circumstance. The journey of the night has become the practice of the day. The weary soul has been replaced by the resilient soul, which knows how to rest even while in motion, how to find the stillness at the center of the storm, and how to abide in the promise that was made and kept in the silent watches of the night. Section 30. The day concludes much as it began, with gentle intention. The setting sun casts long, peaceful shadows, mirroring the soft light of dawn. The frantic energy of the day has spent itself, and a collective sigh seems to pass through the world. You have navigated the hours with a grace that feels both new and deeply familiar, as if you have remembered a skill you had long forgotten. The pack you carried was light, and you often forgot it was there at all, so perfectly were you sharing its load. As you return to your home, you feel not a desperate relief to escape, but a warm contentment to return to your sanctuary. The evening is a slow, loving unwinding. There is no need to relive the day's events with stress or to pre-live tomorrow's with anxiety. The day is done. It is filed away in the library of your experience, another volume in the story of your life. You release it with a simple prayer of gratitude for the grace that sustained you and the peace that guided you. You partake in your evening rituals, the warm cup of tea, the washing of the face, the brushing of the teeth. But now these are not just preparations for sleep. They are a closing liturgy for the day. Each action is a note in a song of thanks for the gift of these 24 hours. You slip into your bed. The sheets are cool and welcoming. You lie down and feel your body, honestly tired now, sink with a profound sense of satisfaction into the mattress. This is a good tiredness, the tiredness of a day well lived, of energy spent in meaningful work and kind interaction, not drained by frantic striving and fear. You look up into the darkness, and it feels like a friend. It is the same darkness that held you in the earthen womb, the same silence that cradled you at the lake of silence. The night is not something to be endured until the day returns. It is a partner in your wholeness, a sacred space for your continued renewal. You close your eyes. The cycle is complete. The journey of the weary soul has come full circle, but it is not ending. It is evolving into a new rhythm. The desperate search for rest has been replaced by a confident abiding in rest. You know the way home now. You know the path to the stream, the grove, the lake, the meadow, the deep heart of the earth. You know the sound of the invitation, and you have proven its truth in the laboratory of your own life. You take a final, deep, restful breath. The story is over, but its truth echoes in every cell of your being. The promise from the ancient text is no longer just a verse on a page. It is the lived reality of your life. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. You came, you were weary, and you have been given rest, not just for one night, but for all your nights and all your days. You are a living testament to that promise. And as you drift once more into the welcoming arms of sleep, you do so with the unshakable knowledge that you are, and always will be, a weary soul who has found its rest in the everlasting arms of grace. Sleep deep, beloved and rested soul. The journey is complete. The rest is eternal.